Hey, what's up, everybody? We are on CNBC coming to you with a little bit of news, and this is probably not shocking news. At least it probably shouldn't be shocking news to many, but this says wholesale prices rose 0.4% in September, more than expected as inflation persists. Now, I don't think that this was a big shocker to many. Seems like it was somewhat of a shocker to the experts. Even when bad news is expected, it's usually worse bad news than what they thought it was going to be. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. The producer price index increased 0.4% for September, compared with the Dow Jones estimate for a 0.2% gain, excluding food, energy. So they're not even including food and the skyrocketing prices of energy and trade services. The index rose 0.4% for the month and 5.6% from a year ago. Wholesale prices rose more than expected in September despite Federal Reserve efforts to control inflation, according to a report Wednesday from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The Producer Price Index, a measure of prices that U.S. businesses get for goods and services they produce, increased 0.4% for the month, compared with the Dow Jones estimate for a 0.2% gain. On a 12-month basis, PPI rose 8.5%, which is a slight deceleration from the 8.7% in August. Excluding food, energy, and trade services, the index rose 0.4% for the month and 5.6% from a year ago, the latter matching the August increase. Inflation has been the economy's biggest issue over the past year, as the cost of living is running near its highest level in more than 40 years. The Fed has responded by raising rates 5 times this year for a total of 3 percentage points and is widely expected to implement a 4th consecutive 0.75 percentage point increase when it meets again in 3 weeks. And that is going to be on November the 2nd, I do believe. Wednesday's data shows the Fed still has work to do indeed. Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mesters on Tuesday said there has been no progress on inflation. No progress on inflation. Let that soak in just for a moment. Following the PPI release, traders priced in a 81.3% chance of a 3/4 point hike, the same as a day ago. The PPI release comes a day ahead of a more closely watched consumer price index. The two differ in the PPI measures the price received at the wholesale level, while the CPI gauges the prices that consumers pay. Some 2/3 of the increase in PPI was attributed to a 0.4% gain in services. The BLS said a big contributor to the price was a 6.4% jump in prices received for traveler accommodation services. Final demand, goods and services, also rose 0.4% on the month, pushed by a 15% advance in the index for fresh and dry vegetables. And I also want to take a look at just a little bit of this one as well. It says stock rise as investors look ahead to key consumer inflation data. And if we scroll down just a little bit here, it says the PPI number is one of the inflation gauges investors are watching alongside the Federal Reserve. If inflation stays high, the central bank is more likely to continue its aggressive path of interest rate hikes to bring it back into check, which, by the way, so far hasn't worked out of all the rate increases they have done. That means rates will continue to rise and may stay high for longer than the markets expected, weighing on stocks. All right, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. Is it going to be a rate hike come this November of 75 basis points? Could they go more hawkish, 100 basis points? Could they do the unthinkable, which in my opinion, they're not going to, but I guess it's a possibility that the Fed could pivot. I believe they're going to do another 75 basis point rate hike And that will also increase the US dollar, at least on paper, which I believe will put more pressure on precious metals, gold and silver. And I think we are going to be looking, in my opinion, this is not financial advice, just my opinion, that we are going to be seeing lower prices, especially for silver. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I appreciate everybody for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot, everyone.